But for manifesting generators, this is so important in life, not only in free time, in life, in everything, relationship, business, in every aspect. Do only things that are fun for you. And then there also comes the strategy, how to make decisions.
Hey guys, welcome to our SoulFam Podcast, where I interview space holders from all over the world. I'm your host, my name is Karolina, and I am the Connection Catalyst. I help spiritual entrepreneurs experience deeper connection with themselves, with others, and with the whole universe. Today on the show, we have Patricia, the life and success coach. Welcome to the show, Patricia. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm so excited to be here, and I already love the energy here. I love it.
Thank you so much. I love it as well because the conversation today is really exciting to me because we're going to talk a little bit about human design and specifically generator. And I am a manifestor generator and I still don't feel like I know anything about it really, just from a few podcasts that I've run, but I'm just so excited to know more about myself and for people to know more about themselves if they are manifestor generator or maybe generators. This is going to be exciting and we're going to touch upon a few other things as well, but this is really, really cool. So, first question that I have to you: what's your journey? How did you get into human design, and how did you get to be a coach? What has inspired you to be on this path of helping people?
Yeah, that's an interesting journey. So, I studied to become a teacher because I always knew I want to work with people, I want to help people, share their journey. And I finished it, but then I realized, actually, it's not what I want to do. And then I had an Akashic record session. Do you know what Akashic Records
Yes,
is?
but you can just
Okay,
briefly tell
perfect.
people if in case they don't.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So Akashic Record is, you can imagine like a library in the universe, and everyone has a book. It's like a CV, but not only this life, it's your past life and can be opportunities or possibilities for the future. And you can ask the keepers what can happen. It's not fortune telling, it has nothing to do with that, but there are possibilities if you go a certain way. And the lady I was talking to, she said, you need to do human design. And at that moment, I was like, what is human design? I have no idea what that is. And I Googled it, like everyone does it. Go on Google, type in your birth time, and I read it. I was like, this is not true. I was like, no, not aligning at all. And I think a few months later, I had another session with her. And she was again, you need to do human design. This is your path. I was like, okay, what is this with human design?
That's so
And then, okay,
funny.
give it another chance, second chance. And then I booked a reading with someone, and this blew my mind. It is so crazy what you can read in a chart. You can read anything and everything in a chart. And I was like, okay, this is so crazy. She just told me things that she like could not have known, but she knew because she saw it in my chart, and also struggles that I have. And then I was like, this is so amazing. I want to do this. I want to learn how to do the readings. And I think a month later, I applied to become a human design coach. And it was the best decision ever because it's just the best tool. You can understand yourself, you know how to make aligned decisions because you have a unique system. You know, for example, we're coming to the generator, but if you are behaving like a generator, but you are not a generator, you're a projector, for example, of course things are not working out. Of course you feel stuck, for sure, because you're not working how your system is supposed to be. And this made such a huge shift, and my life is so much easier now.
That's
It's the best.
amazing. That's freaking
Yeah.
amazing. I love how the universe sometimes pushes us to do something. And it's like, go there, go there. Like, nah, this is boring. Or nah, I'm not gonna go there. Like, nah. But then you're like, oh my God, this is the best. And then you're just like agreeing and aligning with the universe. It's so funny. I love this
Yes,
story. How you're like,
Exactly.
nah, boring. But yeah, I mean, until we actually check something out and explore and learn, we don't actually really know. I mean, so many people have, done studies. Like pretty much all my friends have done some studies, and pretty much all of them who had their spiritual awakening are not doing what they studied, are not doing what their profession is, because then it's like,
Yeah.
no, I've just done it because the society told me to, because my parents told me that it's gonna be successful, because I had to have master's degree, but not really. And then they are either like a yogi or like a graphic designer, or they have their own business or whatever. It's just like, yeah, it's just really really cool how the universe is like, nah, you go a different way. Which is really really funny.
Yeah.
And so when
Yeah, the universe knows.
yes, exactly. And so I'm curious to give us an example, if you're happy to share. Like, what was something that this lady told you and you were like, oh my god, how could she possibly know it? Like, do you remember?
Yeah, she knew about my strive for success because I'm really ambitious. Like, I am so ambitious that at some point it blocks me because I want so many things so bad, but it's so much that I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she said that to me, and I didn't even mention it. And she was like, yeah, you have this gate here, and it's activated 4 times actually. So that's a lot. Usually you have like a gate 1 time, maybe 2 times. But my gate, like for ambition and success, is 4 times. So it's really amplified. And she just said to me, yeah, I know you're feeling that strive for success, but I think you're blocking yourself because of this and that. I was like, yes, this is exactly how I feel.
So I'm super curious about the generators in terms of their characteristics, their traits. Like, how are they different from other types, and how you can say like, okay, this is a generator, definitely. Like, you can see clearly that this is a person who is a generator. Like, how to recognize them.
It's so funny because when I entered the room, I was like, she has to be a generator or MG before you told me. So, generators and manifesting generators, they have a similar energy, and their aura is really attracting and like sparkly exciting, because generators and manifesting generators, they have a lot of energy. They have a lot of energy, and they are here on earth to work with the energy and to create something of the energy, because the other types, for example projectors, they don't have the same energy, and they are not supposed to work as much as we are supposed to. So we are creatures who can work 12 hours a day, 20 hours a day maybe. And if we're doing something that is really fun for us, that we like, that we enjoy, the next day we get up after 4 hours of sleep and we're like, okay, I'm ready for the next 20 hours of work because I love what I do. And this is so typical for manifesting generators, the energy that they have. And it's also so important and key to only do things that they love, that they enjoy, that sparks them, and that excites them. Because when they don't do that, for example, they're in a job, in an office or something, they still have the energy. And this is so like irritating because to a certain point, they have so much energy and they do the things that they don't like actually, and they become like a slave of their own and of their boss. But then when they do it, like, I don't know, for a few years, few months, whatever, the energy is degenerating. So they feel
Mhm.
like, I have no energy, I don't know why. And this is because they don't do what they love. So it's really important to only do things that are fun.
And I can relate to that, because like I can easily feel depleted if I do something that is not in alignment with me. And when I actually like doing something, I can go for hours and I can just, yeah, go and go and go. But also, I don't feel like I'm a person who can work 12 hours a day, unless it would be something that I really love, like traveling or like connecting with people, running workshops or retreats or something like that. Then I could easily do that. But I think it
Yeah.
also depends on the type of the job that people do and how much it actually the job is depleting itself, because sometimes you have a job that you cannot just go and go and go. Like, for example, for me, looking at the screen, like I can't do that for too many hours a day, because it's just
Yeah.
not very healthy, and I can really feel it in my body. But yeah, I can relate that I can go 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 go, that's for sure. And so
Yeah.
can you also see the difference between manifestor generator and generator? Like, is it clear?
Um, yeah, so it's of course in the aura, I can't tell, but as you were saying, there are so many things and I want to do all of them. I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, so manifesting generators, they're like the multi-talent of all types. I am so amazed by manifesting generators. I think you are so fascinating. All types are fascinating, but it's so insane and crazy how you can manage 10 things at the same time and all 100%. This is so crazy and I love it. I love the energy. And it depends what things you're doing at the same time, but most of them you can do at the same time. You just have to manage it. But most of the people, they find their way to do all the things so they don't have to cut something off. And I have another friend, she's also a manifesting generator. And if there's someone who can do anything in the world, I would say it's the manifesting generators. You can literally create another world and at the same time care for some other people and do this and that. Yeah, it is so crazy and fascinating for me, the manifesting generators.
That's good to hear. That's awesome. And so, what do you feel like is the most important thing that people should know about generators?
Follow their joy. This is so important. Follow joy, because I think as we are raised by our parents or whatever, whomever we are raised, we get told you need to work hard, you need to find a job. We are not getting told do only things that are fun, because those fun things are for our free time. But for manifesting generators and generators, this is so important in life, not only in free time, in life, in everything, relationship, business, in every aspect. Do only things that are fun for you. And then there also comes the strategy, how to make decisions. So, as a generator and manifesting generator, you are not supposed to think of an idea and go ahead and do it. This is not the way how you are supposed to make decisions. So, for example, manifesting generators, they get their like quick ideas and like, oh my god, I just got that download, I want to do this right now because this is so cool, and they're excited about that and this is so amazing. But they need to take a step back and see, okay, what is coming now, because their strategy is to respond, not go ahead and go, go, go.
Mhm.
So if you know, okay, I have to respond to my environment, everything will become easier. And responding doesn't mean, oh, okay, I'm leaning back and I'm waiting everything for me to come. No, responding is also you wake up and you decide, will I snooze or get up right ahead? This is also respond. Or will I drink coffee or a tea? There are little decisions we make during the day that are responding. And when we get an idea, we have to be clear about, is this from our mind or from our gut feeling? Because gut feeling, this is going deeper into human design now, but a lot of generators and manifesting generators, they have a defined sacral, so they have to wait for their body reaction. And this is really important, because sometimes I think most of the people listen to their mind and they think, oh yes, in an objective way, this is like a good idea, this sounds very good, but what is your body telling you? You need to really listen to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I can relate. I was just thinking about this strategy to respond, and I was thinking to respond to your higher self as well, to your soul as well. Because, for example, maybe like 1.5 years ago, I was in meditation, and I received this message that I'm supposed to translate this book from English to Polish and just spread it in Poland. And since then, like it's been already a year since I signed up the contract with the author and was translating it and checking the audiobook. And only even yesterday I was like making the last corrections in the PDF and in the Word, and it took so long. And I'm just like, oh my God, why did the soul tell me to do that? And I trust it. Of course it's going to be great, and it's going to help Polish people because it's a book about money, so it's all about abundance and raising the consciousness about money. But I know that it was my body and my higher self telling me to do this, and I just responded yes. But now I'm just thinking, oh my God, how much energy more I can spend on it. But I know in my body that it's actually good, and my mind is like, oh, so much work and even more work and some more, even more mistakes and something more to correct. But in my body it's like, you know, that it's gonna be good. So I can relate to that, because my body tells me like, yes, you are supposed to do this, even though it
Yeah.
takes hours and hours of work which you're not getting paid for, even though you spent a lot of money already on like editing and audiobook and whatever. You are supposed to do this. So I'm just like, okay, so okay, buddy, I'm just gonna do this, you know. So I can really
Yeah.
relate to that, that I responded yes, and now my mind regrets it a little bit because it's just too much, but my body and my soul are like, yep, perfect, in alignment. So yeah, I can really relate
Yeah,
to that.
because your body and your soul knows the result. So this is also something, sometimes we don't like a process, but we really enjoy the result. So really like daily example, cleaning up. Like there are people who really like it. They enjoy cleaning. Go for it. But there are some people who really don't like the process. It's like annoying, but they like the end result. They like when it's clean and all tidied up. And then they have to think about, okay, will I go on my own through this process because I really like this end result? Or can I think of something, maybe hire someone so I can use this time and I still have this end result? So there are also some little details in between what we can think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I tried to do it in this way where I gave things to people to do, but sometimes I feel like if I don't do it myself, it's not done in the way that I want it, which
Yeah.
is has to be perfect. So you know, like that's another thing. You need to balance it out between like perfection exactly as you want it versus, you know, giving tasks to other people. But I guess that's a very individual thing. And so, what about generators in relationships? Because we are talking about more life and work and business and so on. Like you need to follow your joy, because otherwise you're going to be depleted and degenerate. So what about relationships? Like how do they act, or you know, what is the principle to follow in relationships so that they have the most harmonious relationships ever?
Yeah, so in relationships, you have to really also know the type and the profile of the other person. So if you have two generators, I think they might work really well, but there are also types. So, for example, my type is a 2-4, but there are 12 other types, so it's a lot. And it also depends on the type because every type is different. And if you have two different types, for example, manifesting generator and a projector. So, projector, they don't have the same energy. They have some energy, but they work differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more difficult for manifesting generators and projectors because manifesting generators are like, woohoo, like energy, woo woo, ne? And projectors, they are like really quiet. And a lot of them need to take naps. They can't work 8 hours a day. This is not also not what they're supposed to do. So it's fine. But they're just so different. And of course, there are couples who are like that, but it's really complicated. And I think what is also important for relationships is parent and child. Because if you have child, for example, if you have a child and it's a projector, you need to be very careful that you are not projecting your MG energy onto your child, because your child cannot fulfill that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, okay, I want to do it, I want to be like my mom, but I just don't have the energy. And then they feel like stuck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And in relationships, I would love to go into detail, but we like, I need to have more input, like the profile and the strategy and all of that. But in general, you could say same and same goes along very well. um, but it's also so individual. I mean, I'm a generator 2-4, but I know other generators 2-4 that are so different than I am. It's
Mm-hmm.
also the way you live it. And what I always say to my clients, I love human design. It's such a great tool, but it's not meant to put you in a box. It's not meant to say, okay, you are a generator and that's why you behave like this. No, it's just an opportunity for you to know how to make your life easier, how to make aligned decisions. And if you go with it, cool. And if you're not, also cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's perfect because, we need to treat everyone as an individual human. So, as you say, like there are subtypes, there are other things that you can look at. And of course, there is also personality type, there is also this and that. So, that's really great to look at it individually. I completely agree with that. And so, what about these aligned decisions you mentioned? I know that you had even a workshop about that. So, how to make aligned decisions? Like, what would you say are the most important things to know?
So, first, in human design, it's a strategy. Like I already said, the responding. If you know that, wow, that's a huge step. But also, you have to think about your limiting beliefs. So, in my workshop, I also did some identity work. I let them think about their higher self. And most of the people are like, yeah, I want to be like that, but I don't know how. Okay, let's take a step back. And what I always do is like, what's your favorite song? And immediately there will come a favorite song. I let them close their eyes and just feel the song for a moment. And I say, okay, where are you? Are you at the beach? Are you in the mountains? Are you at home? Are you alone or with a party? Whatever. And I really let them create a scenario, and that scenario where they see themselves, this is their higher self, because they are enjoying with it, they are with happiness in that situation. And out of that version of you, because this is a version of you, you can go along the way and like, okay, so this person who is like dancing at the beach in the sunlight, how is she getting up in the morning? Is she snoozing 10 times or is she getting up? Okay, she's getting up. Are you doing that right now? No. Okay, let's do it now. I will set an alarm now for the next 10 days. You know, this is like you have to really step back. And what I did, I let my participants write me for 30 days that they really do what the higher self version did in their vision. And I was checking in between, and I was like, okay, how you doing? Are you still working on that? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. And it's so nice to just help them and see, okay, it's really working. And of course, at the end, I told them, this is your strategy. I was talking about human design, and it's just making life easier.
Mm, that's perfect. And so, if you don't do it according to your strategy, like for example, if me as a manifestor generator, if I just go and do stuff rather than responding, like, is there any just resistance coming up for me? Like, how did you find people who are actually not doing like, not living according to their strategy, but like living in a different way?
Yeah, you can tell by the feeling, because most of the people feel stuck, and the end result is not as they imagined or like wished. And for example, let's take booking a trip, vacation, and you have this amazing thought of, I want to go to Canada, and you're looking like for hours online because you have that vision and you want to do exactly that, and you're googling and this and that, but you cannot find it. And this is an example. You're not responding because you are looking on purpose and you are looking only for this, and you're not giving room for the universe to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay,
a,
I get it.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like I've been creating rather than responding for most of my life. Although, even though I was creating, it was also a response. Like, for example, if I wanted to go somewhere, I would just ask a few people, like, what's your favorite place in the world? They would say, like, Bali. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Bali. So it's kind of like, creating, but also based on what people would tell me, or based on like how what I would hear from people, or how people, or someone told me Costa Rica. I'm like, okay, I'm off to Costa Rica. And then I went, I'm like, oh my God, this is my home. I love it. So it's kind of like a
yeah,
mix in between, but I can totally
yeah,
relate to it. But I'm also thinking like, maybe as a woman also, I like to respond more than to just go, because the feminine energy is also very receptive and just responsive, and not fully like, only creating and going and structuring and so on. So it's it's pretty interesting to see, but there's just, as we said, there's probably so many factors influencing us that
yeah.
it's hard to just pinpoint a few things. So what else do you feel like is important to know about the generator? Is there anything that we haven't mentioned that is just really crucial to know?
I think the most important thing is follow your joy. I cannot repeat this often enough, but this is really so important. And when people come to me like, okay, I'm a generator, I'm an MG, what do I have to know? And I'm always like, just follow your joy. You are here on earth to have fun. And people can't believe it. And like, what? I'm here to have fun. I'm like, yes, you are here to have fun. And because what is fun for you is your soul guiding you towards your destination and towards what you are deserving in this life. And it's not like without a purpose. The fun things are with a purpose. And this is so, I love it.
Mm-hmm. But isn't it a message to everyone though? Because I feel like everyone needs fun in their life, and everyone needs to follow their joy.
Yes, of course, definitely. But mostly generators and the other.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, because like, yeah, I feel like if even other types, if they do not follow their joy, they probably are depleted, but maybe not in the same degree, because maybe they are not going to be as, the discrepancy is not going to be as different. Because if you are a generator and you're generating so much energy and you're putting it so much energy into something, then you kind of like waste more energy in a way, right? Because you're putting it to something that you don't want to ultimately do. So if maybe you don't have as much energy and you're putting it into something that you don't want to do, and if you're not a generator, then it's like you're not as depleted, because you're not putting as much energy. Is that how it works, more or less?
Yes, but it's also the signature of the types. So, for example, signature is the feeling of a type where the soul and also the physical body knows, okay, I'm on my right path. And for generators and manifesting generators, it's fulfillment. So if you feel that this is what I'm doing now and it fulfills me, perfect. And this is fun for you. But for other types, it's not fulfillment. For example, for projectors, it's success. So whatever makes them feel successful is a sign of, okay, you are on your right path. This is the good, like perfect direction for you. And of that, you also have to think about success is different for everyone. Like success can mean the money or living in a village or whatever. But the feeling of success is for them. And so when we're having fun, I feel fulfilled. But just because I feel fulfilled doesn't mean that everyone feels fulfilled, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get it. I get it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It makes it clearer to me about myself and about other people that I know that are generators. It kind of
Yeah.
clears the picture for me. I'm super, super grateful.
Yeah.
So I have another last quick question to you. If people would really like to get to know you more and see your content and maybe get a human design chart reading or something, what is the best way to find you?
On Instagram, Inner Power Design. And this is also why I chose the name, because I am here on earth. This is literally my mission, to reactivate everyone's inner power, because I really know that everyone has an inner power, and sometimes we just need another person or something from the outside to reactivate it. So we are like, okay, we are remembering, we are awakening, and design for human design. So everyone has a unique design and human design. And yeah, just follow me on Instagram. You can book a reading with me, basic reading, deep dive reading. I also have a 1 month package where you have both and extra support. And if you're really interested, you can also go to my coaching. I have one-on-one coaching. Just open up.
Perfect. Thank you so, so much for sharing yourself with us. It was a really interesting conversation for me. I got to know myself on a deeper level now. I will check how it works in my reality right now. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful
Thanks
for
for
this.
having me.